Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. This is Allison from the Little Paper Crown blog, and today I want to share with you how I use the lesson book from Sherry Hayes to create a language arts program for my first grader. This is not anything that I came up with on my own. There's an explanation for how you use this on Sherry's channel, which I will link below because I'm going to give her all the credit for helping me understand how I could set up things like this and use this as my language arts curriculum. So I'm going to give a props to her because I didn't come up with any of this on my own. However, I will show you how we use this. So we're currently in the second story in this primer, but I'm going to show you how we used it for the first story, which is the Little Red Hen. So he can read the complete story of the Little Red Hen now on his own, and you're going to see a lot of those words in here. So what we would do is I would introduce the new words on cards. He would study them long enough where he felt like he knew what they were, and then he would build them. So let's say for one day we were building the word hen, so he would build them like this, and then we would have a couple of days of that, and then the rest of the days, once we built the initial words and he got used to what they look like, then we would move on to our lesson book. I'm going to get to the lessons here. So some of the first things that we did, you can see this is split between Treadwell, and we were doing McGuffey's at the time and then switched over to this. So I would write the word in the box, and I love having these guide boxes because I can explain to him, you know, you do a little stick and then the curve of the R, and it's all under the dotted line. And notice how the stick of the D goes up in the upstairs of the box and fills the upstairs and the downstairs. And so that helps me explain kind of how to form each of the letters. And so then he would copy them down, and then he would draw a picture that would remind him of that. And he said little reminded him of a mouse, so he drew a mouse. And wheat reminded him of bread, so he drew a picture of bread. And then that might be, 3 words might be one day's lesson. And then we would read the story again from the primer. So that might be one day's lesson. And then another lesson we might do would be, I would have written the sentence or sentences that I wanted him to copy, and he would have copy work. So I would write the Little Red Hen, he would copy it there, and just the format of this makes it very easy to follow, as opposed to, I was worried about a notebook, just a plain notebook, or even one of those notebooks that has, you know, the blank up here and then the places to write. I don't know, I just felt like I needed more structure for him. So this is why when Sherry was explaining all of this in her video, it made a whole lot of sense to me to do it this way. And then because we are not ready for dictation yet, what I did was just print these words out on address labels on my computer. I cut them all out and laid them out on the table. And I would say, you know, on that first line, I want you to put the Little Red Hen. And of course we ran out of room, but you get the idea. So he did the best he could lining these up. This is not something per se that Sherry would have recommended. She would have said, you know, you dictate the sentence to them and then they write it. But I wanted to give him a break from writing. He is only in first grade, and I wanted to kind of mix things up. And then he did a narrative drawing below. I'm going to keep going just to show you where we're at here. So then, you know, as time went on, we did other words that were from that same story. He made a picture for every one, and these would have all been on different days. And then if you've noticed, I've given him little either this was for me, you know, we need to go over set again. He didn't quite have this. Or for this one, I was teaching him how the silent E makes the A say its own name. So while he was sitting here after he wrote it, I said, remember the E is silent, so it goes shh, and it makes A say its own name. Hi, I'm an A. He really enjoyed that for some reason. So there's little tips and tricks in here for him as well. I was showing him how you stretch out the I and grind so that he gets used to seeing it that way. And then, of course, he did the word eat. And I just wanted to point out, I don't go straight through the book if we're not ready for the copy work yet, because we here, after eat, we were done with the Little Red Hen. So now we're on to the gingerbread boy. So all I did was just skip these 2 pages. We'll come back to these when I'm ready for copy work and dictation and narrative drawing for gingerbread boy. But right now, he just did these 3, and he was feeling very outside of the box this day, I guess. So anyway, you can see I've already set up for the next lesson that we'll do. This was just one lesson where he got to practice these in correlation with reading them in here after he had built them here. So we build, we read, we write, and we draw. And that's essentially what we're doing for language arts right now. I will occasionally supplement in the Good and the Beautiful level K. You by no means need anything else beyond this to do language arts, and maybe just throw in some stories here and there that you're reading aloud. But I just wanted to show you how I use this. I've shared this on Instagram. I know not everybody's on Instagram, so I wanted to give you guys sort of a clearer vision on here of how I use this. As the levels progress, there's more and more space to do different things. And you can see all of that in that video of hers as well. So I will definitely link that below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in my next video.